Hello everybody and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we're doing something a little different here. I am in my little utility area of my basement here, doing a little maintenance here on my son's new hand-me-down push toy corn popper from Mattel / Fisher-Price. The problem that we're having with it is it would only pop when going backwards. It won't pop when going forwards at all. So I wanted to take it apart and take a look at it and see if we can't figure out what's going on. And for the sake of time, I already did some of the disassembly. So this trim ring going around, if you have this model with the Fisher-Price, almost like a little button there at the top, the way that's going to come off, and let me just slide the ring right off and I'm going to show you here. So if you take a look at it, you're going to see all these little push areas, these little push pin areas here, 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 and here. So right next to the Fisher-Price logo, and then again right here. And all those are just little pressure clips with the tab. You can see they have the little tooth there, and that's just going to grab hold on the inside of that dome. Now, I did use what you really shouldn't when working with plastic, but I just had a little flathead screwdriver and I just worked my way around and popped them out. Now, I would say if you're trying to avoid marring up the plastic like I did in a few spots here, you can kind of see, yeah, not the best look. But if you wanted to try to avoid doing that, you could certainly use a softer material pry tool, but honestly this thing's got some little dings and things throughout anyway, so I wasn't overly worried about that. But once you get that off, you can see that we have exposed 4 screws here on the plastic dome piece. So we're going to take those 4 screws out, and I think, if I'm looking at that correctly, that should not only take the dome off, but I think it'll also take this inner plastic piece off. So let's go ahead and actually just get those taken out. Okay, so we've gotten that taken off, so I'm going to see if it just comes off as one, and I can see that yes, it does just come right out. Looks like the previous owner might have had some pets or something, but that's okay. That's why I brought some denatured alcohol we're going to use to clean. So looking down here, this is usually the culprit, this little rod here. I've heard some people say that that rod breaks. Now what it looks to me though, to give you a little idea of the inner workings, so basically as you push it, you can see how that has that groove in it. That groove will slide in one end, hook here, and then pull down the popper going around the other way. Now it almost looks like maybe there's not necessarily a problem with the rod, because I've heard some people say this rod breaks, and if that breaks, you can replace it with just, say, a piece of coat hanger or something like that, and it feels like it is plastic. So with this one, I can't really tell what the actual issue is, because I think it just has to do with maybe being off-center. So what I'm actually curious on is, can I just spin this around and just put it on the other way? So let's see if I can take this dome off. So basically what you can kind of see here that it looks like is there's just maybe warping over time where it's not grabbing. So let me just set this back down. So going forward, so it's catching some of the times, but you can see it's not catching every time, and it looks to me like it's probably, and I know it's hard for you, I'm looking down inside of here, it's just not grabbing this tooth here is all that's happening. So I'm thinking, let me slide this little rod out, and we're just going to literally turn this around so that now the reverse is facing forward and the other way. Now by doing this, it may not work going backwards for me, but I'm not really worried about that because I want it to work going forward. So if we look now, or let's see, which way? This way. Yeah, it looks like it's grabbing it. Yeah, so it looks like it's grabbing it every single time now. And then actually, yeah, so it's sometimes not grabbing the opposite direction. I'm trying to keep it down a little bit, but I think just by spinning this around, I think I might have resolved my problem. So I think that'll actually do it. But while I got this out, I'm going to go ahead and, before I even put it all back together, the bottom of this we can see is a little scuffed and things like that. I'm just going to use some denatured alcohol here, which is really good on plastics, and I'm just going to kind of give this a little bit of a cleaning, take off some of these scuffs and things like that. We can see it looks like crayon, and just give it, you know, a good once over, so that way it's just not kind of gross looking. So. And just to show, yeah, you can see a little bit of the crayon I got off and just some of the general grime. And then for the pet hair that looks like it got inside of this unit, I'm just going to go grab my canned air real quick and we'll get that taken care of. Alright, so that should just about do it. So we're going to go ahead and get that back on, and then we'll get the dome there back on as well. And get this all screwed back together. Alright, so one more time before we snap the other pieces in position. There we go. And actually, whatever it was, by spinning it around, even pops backwards now, but we have a fully functioning popper. So with that being said, all that's really left is taking this guy, fitting it over the top, and then just snapping all the pieces back down. There we go. Cool. Well, guys, I know this was a little bit different video from what you're used to, but I thought, what the heck, it would be fun to throw something a little different on there. So probably going to wipe down the handle too, just to make sure it's all completely clean. But there you go. Real simple look at the inside of one of these corn poppers and what you might need to do to get it working if it's spinning or not popping in the frontwards or backwards direction. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching my video and have a great day.